Welcome to Misunderstanding Millennials. Wow, I look really low. Like, I look like I'm sitting very low. I look like I'm about 5 feet tall. But that's okay. We can make do. I'm going to go ahead and tell you, we are on a tight budget tonight. The budget is very low. Unfortunately, our producer couldn't make it today, so we're going with a old school style budget Misunderstanding Millennials episode where, Chase is, Chance, he's in the back. The rats are here. He has to battle the rat. He has to battle the rats again. He's trying to fend them off. Usually that's the producer's job, but now Chance has to take care of it. Okay, so he's back. We're good.
Jesus.
We're good.
They're so fast.
And we how long has it been since we've had a live episode? I think it's been like
2 weeks.
2 weeks, I believe. And I know we've had some talk about what's going on. Why have we not been here? We'll get to that.
Trying to look taller.
Chance, how are you doing? How are you doing today?
It's been a rough time, dude. I've lost comrades in the war back there with the rats.
Okay.
I've had people die in my hands.
Ooh, that's never good.
I've had rats die in my hands too.
Ooh.
So it's just been a tough time.
A rough day.
Tough time. Tears were shed. Yeah. Blood was shed.
Okay.
Iron on iron. As I killed and slayed rats.
It's a tough job up here, but we're here to do it because we have to.
That's us. Right here.
But yeah, so if you're wondering why I haven't been here in the past 2 weeks, I believe, last week, I'll go ahead and say I was on vacation, so that was kind of my fault. Sorry.
Yep.
And then the week before that, I think we had a family emergency came up, and we weren't able to have the show.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, that's putting us a couple weeks behind. But here we are. We're back live again. We're going to talk to you about millennial stuff.
Great stuff. Great content.
And I felt like we're back here for the first time in like 2 weeks since we've done a live show. So we're gonna kind of chill today. I was telling Chance that I've been pulling about 12-hour sessions in World of Warcraft for the past couple of days, so I'm feeling pretty rough as well.
I've been starting college classes recently, so I've gotten 0 sleep. So I'm pretty rough too, as you can tell by my face.
Yeah.
It's been a rough time.
Well, so I think to begin this episode, we should go back to a segment that I guess we could call it a recurring segment now. That has always been fun, and unfortunately we don't have the graphic for it today. But
no, we do not.
What have millennials killed this week?
All right,
brace yourself for this one. An article from Philadelphia Magazine, written by a very angry, consumer of this product.
Okay.
This week we want to say rest in peace to mayonnaise.
All right, rip mayonnaise.
Millennials have apparently killed mayonnaise.
I don't like mayonnaise.
I don't like mayonnaise either.
Mayonnaise is gross. It's white.
It's
creamy.
White. It's creamy, and it doesn't taste like anything.
It doesn't taste like anything. It tastes like nothing.
Right. I was actually going to say beforehand, if you want to go ahead and send us an email, we'll be opening up the lines a little bit later. Our email is millennials47@gmail.com.
Since we're budget anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and change it so they can see it.
That's fine.
I'll be right back. I heard a rat scurrying around.
So, we're kind of going with the flow over here today. So we're going to get that up there. We're going to get the email on the screen because we know millennials is a hard word to spell. I misspelled. I had to Google it like 8 times before we started the show to make sure I was spelling it right. But you want to send us an email before we open the lines, or if you just don't want to talk to us on the phone, I don't blame you. Millennials47@gmail.com. We'll answer it and read it on the air. But yeah, so back to the topic. We have apparently killed mayonnaise.
We have killed mayonnaise. Mayonnaise is dead. We will not find it on store shelves. And if you do, call me immediately
we'll take care of it.
We'll take action.
But obviously we know that these headlines talking about millennials killing things is kind of stupid. Obviously we all kind of understand that.
Yep.
But it's just like, when is it going to end? Like, are we going to get blamed for everything? Like,
millennials kill bell bottoms. Millennials kill plaid.
Plaid. Millennials are killing plaid. This is it. This is me wearing the
you're a traitor.
The armor of my enemy.
That's good. That's good.
I just destroy the plaid.
Yep. But, and then wear it.
Rest in peace to mayonnaise.
It's a victory totem.
I really can't think about how devoted you must be to eating mayonnaise to have to write an article talking about how millennials have killed it. You must really enjoy mayonnaise.
I know someone my age that told me herself, straight to my face, that she likes to eat mayonnaise out of a little mayonnaise jar with a spoon. You know how people eat peanut butter out of the jar?
No.
Imagine eating a good old thing of mayonnaise. Imagine how hot your breath is after you eat a tube of mayonnaise.
I don't even want to think about that. That's pretty gross.
I think about it every night.
'Cause
it keeps me awake.
Well, yeah, but I'm sure that I'll probably have recurring nightmares about that now. But
We hope you do too.
yeah. So don't worry. I'm sure that you'll probably find mayonnaise on a shelf somewhere. But
Email us the location.
and we'll take care of it.
We'll take care of it.
If you want to buy it, that's fine. You know, safe.
But we will be coming to your house.
But we will be looking for you and your mayonnaise.
Yeah.
To exterminate it.
So if you want to be able to make sure you have mayonnaise for a long-lasting period of time, you want to go out and buy it while it's still available, but it will soon be eradicated, and we will be looking for mayonnaise refuges and stuff like that.
Yeah, we'll be on the hunt.
We'll be on the hunt.
Anyway.
Gang.
Anyway, we got an email last week, and I want to go ahead and start this out by saying, I'm sorry that last week was pre-recorded, because I feel like we've done that a lot lately, but unfortunately schedules conflict. And
we're lazy.
And it just doesn't work out sometimes, and it happens. But we did get an email on that pre-recorded show, which I do want to point out that I actually think that I figured out how that we can get the banner that says that our show is pre-recorded, so that we can so that people will know that this isn't a live show. So we're gonna look into that. We might be able to get that working. But I don't actually remember the context of what our pre-recorded show last week was. But the email did say
probably some dumb stuff.
Probably what you said about what games do for you and others. They let you kind of escape, get away into your own world for a while. Well, it just explains marijuana. It's an attitude adjustment, a in between bad times to relax, to laugh or cry if you want. It's all up to you. But I see games as a better than a life of weed. It costs a lot.
Marijuana does cost a lot.
I mean, I understand it costs a lot. So, games are pretty expensive too, though, to be honest.
Yeah, games are $60.
And unfortunately, Chase isn't going to be here today because I was gonna give him some praise because we were actually, again, we promoted a show a few weeks ago that we were planning on doing with Chase debating Caleb Robertson about the legalization of marijuana and cannabis.
Marijuana.
And I was talking to him a little bit outside after our show, and I can't remember the exact context of the discussion, but I brought up something along the lines of, I don't understand why it always seems like, people who do smoke always seem extremely lazy. And like it seems like a lot of people that I know that do smoke are extremely lazy. And he actually hit me with some really good knowledge. And he was like, well, if you think about it, there's people who do nothing but be lazy and don't do anything with their lives and smoke anyway. If you take out the smoking out of their life, they would probably still just be just as much lazy as they would beforehand. And I'm like, you're not wrong, probably.
Probably.
You're probably not wrong. So one-ups to Chase for that. So he makes a good point. So I think.
Yeah, weed doesn't make you lazy. You're born a lazy person. Weed just helps.
I mean, I guess so, but again, so there's a thought on marijuana and video games as a comparison and a contrast to their use for, I guess, I don't know, relaxation. Sick. But thank you for that email. I'm sorry that we couldn't get to it last week because we weren't here, but hopefully you're watching and that kind of gave you some clarification and some closure on that email.
So, what else, Jonathan? Big news?
What else do we have to talk about? Well, I feel like we should talk a little bit about some more local stuff because why not? People always say, especially Charles. Charles loves to call us and say, when are you going to start talking about local stuff?
Yep.
It's really ironic to me because a lot of millennials around here just kind of don't really speak up. And I would like to try and stop that from being a thing and get them to kind of, reach out a little bit more and talk to us.
All right.
I don't know how successful I'm going to be on that. But I have some screenshots here from Facebook from an individual, and so okay, folks, what we're going to be talking about here is we're talking about the comments of a county commissioner talking about education in Rockingham County. So you think about high school, right?
All right, high school.
Let's think about graduation at high school. You did just graduate high school.
I did.
Do you know anyone that did not graduate with you, that should have graduated? It was their fourth year, and they should have been graduating and all that jazz.
One person.
One person. Okay. I'd say that's actually one person out of your entire graduating class. Well, I mean, that you know, of course, is not too bad. Well, so this we had some county commissioner comments talking about sort of a stab at the school board a little bit, I'd say, talking about the 2016-2017 school year that only 82. Actually, let me correct that because the post actually was correct at the bottom. 85.4% of students in Rockingham County high schools graduated in the 2016-2017 school year. 85.4% graduated.
Okay.
And it's this post. Unfortunately, I can't show the graphic of it because we don't have the ability to go put it up unless Chance runs back and forth like we used to do, which we're trying to avoid. But it's sort. He talks about how terrible and sad it is that only this percentage graduate high school after 4 years, and he says so just watch how school administrators and school boards start patting themselves on the back. And he starts talking about how Superintendent Dr. Shotwell was given a contract extension and a $5,000 bonus. And these comments were made today. I just want to go ahead and point that out. So I did a little bit of digging because I was thinking, obviously it is sad if you think about it. You wish that everybody that's been in all 4 years of high school could graduate, and 100% graduation rate would be incredible, right?
Yeah, it's the dream.
That's the dream. Everybody in high school graduates, they get their high school diploma, and they're set.
Yep.
But realistically, that's just not the case. And I was like, and in my head, I was like, 85-ish% is, that doesn't sound too bad.
And to clear this up just a little bit, the county commissioner is like, not reprimanding, but like calling out the school board for having that.
Right. The post is more so saying, statistic. They're patting themselves on the back and sort of, giving contract extensions and, thousands of dollars of bonuses when, we only have an 85% graduation rate. So why are they patting themselves on their back?
Yeah.
Because that's sad because it should be higher. Should it be higher? Yeah. I mean, obviously, you want a 100% graduation rate in high school because then everybody graduates and they go on with their lives and, they're a high school graduate, and that's good. But so I did some digging because I was like, 85% kind of sounds like not that bad. Mm-hmm. So I decided, what would be a good idea? Let's look up the national average of high school graduation rates, and I'll have to pull up the graphic myself and look at it. But from memory, I can tell you. Let's see, high school graduation rates that I butchered spelling. So I decided what would be the best thing to do. I decided I'm going to look up the high school graduation rates in America, and surprisingly, that rate on average is 82% across the entire United States. 82% is the average amount of high school graduates after 4 years in high school. And
wait a second.
In case you don't like math, 85% is in fact higher than 82%.
So you're saying the schools around here have a higher graduation rate than the national average,
yes,
but this county commissioner is like calling them out on it
and
as a bad thing.
Yeah, and of course, I'm gonna go out and say, because I don't want this to be misconstrued. Yeah, if it was higher than 85%, it would be fantastic. Of course, we want everybody graduating high school as we can, but when the national average is 82% for said school year that he was referencing, and I will say, just to sort of defend myself here, I'm going solely by his numbers that he's claiming in this post. I don't actually know the specific numbers because unfortunately I had a bit of a PC issue right before we came on the air today, and I wasn't able to get all that together. But so I'm solely going by his numbers. But actually here's the graphic now. The graduation rates. Actually, this is for 2015, 2016, just the school year prior. North Carolina's average was 86%, and the U.S. average was 84%. 84%. I said 82. I'm sorry, but so it's right around the average. So could it be better? Of course, but it's nothing.
Could it be worse?
It could be much worse, and I'll let you know that out of the entire United States, there are only 2 states that have a 90% or higher graduation rate after 4 years.
Who is that?
Iowa and New Jersey.
Okay, then. Well,
and so those are the only 2 that are 90% or higher, and there are 36 states that are 80% to less than 90%, which is what we fall in the category 86. And there's 11 that are under 70 or under 80, above 70%, and only 1 that is less than 70%.
Who's less than 70%?
I believe it's actually the Washington, D.C. area.
We could be Washington, D.C. So It's not that bad.
So I just find it very strange that we're going out on social media and calling out the school board and Superintendent Shotwell, for getting a raise or whatever.
Well, before we go to this break, we
wanna
have a
take this
caller.
call? Okay.
So
That's interesting because we didn't have the numbers up. So
yeah, they know. Hi, caller, you're on there.
Yes, I would like to make a comment.
1 second, we're turning the volume up here.
Hi.
Hello, I'd like to make a comment on what they're talking about today.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, I feel like everything is so commercial now, and everything is like a tug-of-war game, and it's been like that since the beginning of time.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like if they start to put God first, everything will fall into place.
Oh, okay. Well,
okay. That's a fair statement, I guess. Do you have any comments specifically on the comments about the school board or anything like that?
Well, every child deserves an education, and I pray that they find someone good to go on with the school board.
Okay. How do you think the school board? Are you from Rockingham County?
No, I'm not. I'm from the Martinsville area.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, I'm not sure what the school board is in
Yeah,
that area.
I'm not really sure about that area because I'm from Rockingham County. But so I mean, what do you think about the graduation rates being a little above average rather than being so far under as county commissioners and people are making it out to be here? Do you think it's right to call out the school board when we're kind of sitting a little above average anyway?
I think it's very sad the way it's going now.
Mm-hmm.
And just like the SOLs, I know when my child was in with the schools, and the teachers didn't even know how to pass the SOLs. They couldn't even pass the SOLs.
Mm-hmm.
And they would give them material to study that was not even on the SOLs, which was sad.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you think we could improve our education system if you had the power to make a change?
Classes.
More classes?
Smaller.
Okay, that's fair.
But smaller classes.
All right.
Learn to help kids one-on-one, and the ones that's getting distracted, don't send them home, as a suspension,
Mm-hmm.
Let them stay in school because when they go home, that's like a playground,
Yeah, it's like a free pass, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, understandable. Well, thank you so much for your call. We really do appreciate it.
You're very welcome. You have a good evening.
Thank you.
you
You
too.
too. I think we probably need to go ahead and head to a break. Unfortunately,
Yes, we are.
Chance, you're going to have to go do that. Good luck in war, brother. I know
See ya.
it's a long battle to get back there to press that button. But we'll be taking more calls. If you have an email you'd like to send in to us, we'll be checking those throughout the show tonight. So we'll be right back after these messages. Welcome back to Misunderstanding Millennials. I'm Jonathan Mills. Chance will return momentarily. We're going to get the numbers up along with the email. And I actually forgot to mention this when we first started the episode. I can start talking about it while Chance is getting that ready. We actually did get a comment on our Facebook page at Misunderstanding Millennials. You can go like it on Facebook and subscribe to us on YouTube. But it was a comment from a user that asked us, why do we call ourselves Misunderstanding Millennials when you are not a millennial, and why do we not call it Misunderstanding Millennials and Generation Z?
Well, I feel like you have a better answer to that than I do.
Well, I'm gonna be real. We were pitching ideas for this show, for the name of the show specifically, and we were just referring to it as the Millennial Show, and then one day I think it was me that said I was like, Misunderstanding Millennials. That sounds kind of cool. But unfortunately, it just does not have quite the ring to it when you say Misunderstanding Millennials.
Doesn't roll off
also
the tongue.
Generation Z.
Yeah.
But we do recognize that he is not technically a millennial. You're not technically a millennial, but you get to have that representation of Generation Z because you guys are kind of getting a little older now. I mean, you're pretty much on like the oldest level of Generation Z.
No, I am. I was born in 2000, early 2000s.
Yeah, so you're like the first Gen Zer out there, really.
Yeah, I was out here
for your generation. But so I mean that's kind of why we do it. But Misunderstanding Millennials, because we kind of focus on the same topics. We might have a little bit of differences on them. But overall, we're kind of still in the same boat.
Yeah,
it's more of just lifestyle differences, I guess. So commenter, if you commented that and you're watching, I guess that's kind of our explanation. And yeah. Cool. So we'll go back on the topic again. Phone numbers are up. Our email millennials47@gmail.com if you want to send us an email. Don't want to talk on the phone. We were just talking a little bit about education, and our last caller brought up a good point about not that much one-on-one in schools anymore. And I'll go ahead and say that I can't really relate to that much because my high school that I went to was sort of special. There were only like 80 kids in each grade, so pretty much everyone knew who each other was. But you went to like a traditional high school.
Okay, so there were about 300 people in my grade. So there were my classes were stacked. I'm talking about like 30 people in one room with one teacher. So one-on-one interaction between me and my teachers, if I weren't like friends with them was non-existent. I really just did my work, got help from friends if I needed it, but finding time to talk to this teacher one-on-one is impossible. Even administration, guidance counselors are hard to get in touch with. It's difficult, but since it's such a change because I go to community college now, and what's crazy about that is I get more interaction with those teachers or those professors than I do with my teachers from high school. Right. So it's like easier almost.
We have a couple calls if you want to go ahead and take a call too.
I
just want to apologize. I just remembered because we don't have anybody in the back. We're not picking up and putting calls on hold. I think Matt just did it, so I want to say thanks, Matt, for doing that.
Yeah, thanks, Matt.
Yeah, thank you.
But if you're ringing, just let it ring. We'll pick up. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry.
All right. Hi, caller. You're on there.
Hey guys,
Hey.
Talking about education, what's y'all's view on the North Carolina lottery and how it's helped out with the school system and stuff? Do y'all think it's a joke or it could do more or what?
Well, I don't think it's a joke per se, but when I was in high school, nobody was like, "Oh, the education lottery just gave us a grant for something." That never happened.
I've never heard of anything like that happening. I think it's kind of like it reminds me when we talked about the game show that was paying off student debt. It's kind of like one of those things where it's like, is this really what we have to do?
Yeah.
To kind of get money and stuff for schools and stuff like that. I think it's kind of a gimmick, but
yeah, it's just to me it's same as say the casinos out west. It's a gimmick. It was an excuse to get it up and going, and now they got starting to make money off of it. And I'm sure it's going in some deep pockets. It's just like these sweepstake parlors. It's the eyesore, and it's not doing anything as far as going towards taxes and stuff. It makes you wonder really what's going on with all them popping up. And they talk about corruption. Just think that's a good way to launder some money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I think it's kind of just like it's just weird that we have to do that. But I would really like to see some numbers as to what kind of money has come out of that and went towards schools, because I actually don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I would like to look that up and see that kind of information.
Just before they start running campaigning for office and stuff, they all talk about how bad the powers are. They're going to get rid of them and stuff. They get elected, you don't hear anything else about it, and you see more of them popping up.
Yeah, but I think that's kind of the way that politics go in general. Kind of empty promises. Yeah,
that's the dream.
But I definitely agree. The stuff like sweepstakes, parlors, and all that are kind of like very much an eyesore, and I don't know how they keep slipping through the loopholes.
And I think also with kids, there used to be people had more hobbies, and they did things, and I think it was kind of a stress relief for them to have little hobbies and stuff. Now it makes you wonder if having a cell phone, playing games, or texting or whatever in the hand, if that's really what's going to help their little tick to calm down versus finding a hobby that they really enjoy doing.
I mean, I understand that, but I think I would still classify it as a hobby. I mean,
gaming is a hobby.
I would definitely count it as a hobby, because I mean, I think hobbies, they don't necessarily need to be, what's the word I'm looking for?
Like physical material. So
Yeah,
it doesn't have to be
it's still something to do to pass the time that you enjoy. It doesn't necessarily have to be, something.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be like
I know when I started, we had a club in high school that was for games and stuff, and they were kind of upset with us because it wasn't made for the purpose of education. But we still kind of wanted to go through it because that's what we enjoy doing. So I guess it doesn't necessarily have to be educational or something like that.
Do you think the younger crowd are prepared for a lot of the things that are slapping them right in the face and maybe hurtful and stuff, but they're not really prepared and useful?
I would say yes and no, because I would say if in the cases that they aren't prepared for life as in general, really, I don't know if I would necessarily blame it on that, because it kind of goes back to the argument that people use when they talk bad about video games and stuff, that, it's like people say, oh, well, that's sort of, ruining and tainting the youth and all that. But I feel like it really does kind of come down to the parents. If the parents aren't really letting them do it in moderation or anything like that, it's gonna cause an issue. So it's really kind of comes down to the parents. If that's what they enjoy doing and they're still getting good grades in school and learning and all that, fine. But if it ends up being detrimental to their development or whatever, I would say,
Yeah, well, again, like you said, parents, but social media is really going to have to be looked into, especially when some of the killings, they said, well, that's what happened. They said they were being bullied and stuff. And
yeah, it's a shame how social media is with all this stuff. But I mean, I feel like there's really just not much that can be done, because we've seen in the past with people getting bypassing age restrictions on there, that's not a problem. But I feel like it's definitely an issue that stuff like that kind of comes out of it. But I feel like unless we just completely get rid of all social media and content anyway, because I mean the same thing happens through texting and stuff like that. I feel like that's kind of a problem that is more with the individual and not we can't really go after social media for it.
Yeah, okay, I agree with you. Appreciate y'all's show and everything. We enjoy it.
Yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for calling too. We got another call, or do we need a break?
We're going to take this caller, and then we're going to go into break.
Gotcha.
Hi, caller. You're on there.
Hey, man. How you doing?
Hey, how's it going?
All right. The show is Misunderstanding Millennials. You do talk about, actually, tonight you're actually on a different subject, and which I do feel the education system has failed. I think the standards have been lowered. As far as the lottery, it's a joke. We always hear the folks are always begging for more money for the teachers in the schools, and where's that money going? But really, what I want to hear, from you guys is that how do you feel about other issues that are cultural related, such as what kind of religion do you guys have? Are you practicing in your religion? What about marriage or living together? Politics, are you conservative or liberal?
Okay.
I want to know more about your mindset, not just technology. I learned computer electronics in 19
back to Misunderstanding Millennials. Let me explain to what's going on here for a second, real brief, while Chance comes back. See, I switch. I see. Ever since he's back here, I mess him up all the time. Our TriCaster crashed, which threw us in black real quick. So we really apologize about that. But we are going to continue everything as normal. We did have a caller who was asking us a question that did get cut off sort of mid-segment. So we're going to go back to that call.
Our garbage equipment decides to explode.
Right.
Hi, caller. You're on the air.
Yeah, we're back. If you want to, just go ahead and sort of just like reiterate your question real quick, and we'll get to it. I'm sorry.
Oh, no problem. Yeah, my question, and what I would like to hear from you guys is more about your culture. And you'd have to agree that there is a divide between, say, your age group and culture versus mine. I'm in my 50s. And I was getting ready to tell you, I studied computer electronics back in the early 90s, before there was touch screens and even before there was a mouse.
Yeah.
And of course, before Windows was come out. So, you had to enter your commands, and it took much more skill and knowledge just to run a computer back then than, of course, now everything is computer friendly or user friendly.
Yeah.
So, you had to use actual syntaxes back in the day. So let's take away the technology because, most folks, by the time you're my age, you would have lived through multiple stages of technology.
Right.
But what I want to know is the difference between my culture, my age group, and your culture and your age group as far as your religious beliefs, your beliefs about marriage, conservatism versus liberalism, the things that really mean more because technology is always fading. Next year it will be something else, and it continues to grow. And if you're an adult, you can adapt to it, regardless of what age you are.
Okay,
but that's really what I want to hear is the difference between our cultures, and I think you would probably bring in a lot more viewers and calls that are my age than just kind of staying on the technology and the cell phone, the games, and all that. Now, I'm 50 years old. I've played games, of course. In the 80s, you had arcades. I was there then, and games are more complex, but everything is now more complex.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you, though. I feel like when we first jumped into this, we kind of just went for more like things that people sort of attack younger people for, but we definitely have been wanting to go more into like the cultural sort of aspect of it, but we just kind of haven't found the right transition, but I guess this is going to be the moment.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what I believe as a person.
Go for it.
Okay, so I am registered as an independent. So I don't believe that the political system right now is working, which it clearly is not, and I believe that we need fresher ideas, fresher younger people in government, and it's just stagnating. It's not working out that well in the U.S. government right now.
How do you feel that the political system is not working?
How do I feel like it? Well, we're still accumulating debt with other countries. We are creating enemies we do not need. We are, like what I said, we're importing more than we're exporting. We are not getting anything done regarding our education system like we were talking about today. We are not getting anything done in our like legalization of marijuana, which I support. It's not happening right now federally. It's happening statewide in a couple states across the country, but not really federally. And we're not really we're not moving very progressively right now. We're moving more into a nationalist idea with big state government.
And let me ask you, you made a fairly broad statement.
Okay.
What do you think nationalism is?
Nationalism is the love of your own country, and it is the saying that your country is better than other countries. It's saying, that's what I learned in school.
Do you not believe the United States is the greatest country on the world?
I do not believe that we need to be the police of other countries.
I agree with you there, of course.
And I do not agree that our political system is better than every other country in the world right now.
Okay, and do you believe in our Constitution?
Well, I'm born and raised American, so of course I believe in our Constitution, but it's just right now we are not giving off the best presentation of what our country is actually capable of.
Well, and you said you need younger folks in the political atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
Do you not think that experience does come into play and making good decisions? I don't know how old you are, but I'm sure you probably try to make better decisions now than you did 5 or 10 years ago.
Well, like I said, the people in our political system right now may have experience, but what did where did this experience take them? We're not doing that well, so why not give something else a different try other than just this?
Would you support someone like Ocasio-Cortez?
I'm sorry, I'm not sure who that is. I'm not. Can you explain?
She is the extremely the lady that is going for communism. It seems like your age group is starting to really get into embracing communism.
Well,
and they need to learn about what communism has done. Actually, under Stalin, Russia or USSR killed more people than Adolf Hitler and basically all Mussolini and all those combined.
Well,
most folks that are pro-communism, pro-socialist don't understand that.
Okay.
How are you on your history? I mean, do you take an interest in history?
Well, I've taken multiple history courses, and I know that those are fascist countries. They are practicing communism, but they're not doing it correctly. I don't support communism. I'm not saying that. I'm not like that. But I do would like to put the idea of a democratic socialist government into the concept, just because we are communism and socialism is taking what everybody needs and then distributing it equally. So, like saying, I like to think that everyone deserves a chance in our government, and so when it's a capitalist government, which I do support business and stuff like that. Trust me, I'm born and raised American. I'm not a fascist, but I do agree that we need to have more opportunities for minorities and more opportunities for people stuck in the slums of big cities and stuff like that.
Let me ask you this, then, based on your statement. So you would also support affirmative action?
Yes.
You do. And why is that? Why if you were to go into a college and apply and say you may be equally advanced or may have the same skill set as a person of color, to put it politically correct, why do you think they should get the position over you just because you happen to be born white?
Well, I think maybe not so much race
why not on merit?
What'd you say? I'm sorry.
Why not bring people in on their ability and their merit? And that's the failure of communism. It looks great on paper, sounds good that everybody has everything that they need. It sounds good, but you look at any communist country over through the history and even now, and tell me there's still a 1% at the top that are the ruling class, and everyone else is suffering.
It's because they turned fascist.
One communist country that has been successful.
It's because they turned fascist, sir. They turn into fascist governments where the leader takes everything.
Fascist?
What'd you say?
Well, you're using fascism and the word fascist. Can you define that for me? I would like to know what that means to you.
Well, fascist, what it means to me is a all-ruling tyrant of a government leader, which God, I can't even say the word. Doesn't give back to the people, only takes their resources and leaves them stranded in poverty. Where what I believe in,
our own government could be called fascism, or is that what you're kind of leading at?
What'd you say? I'm sorry. Sorry.
In a way, then, by looking at it and from your perspective and your definition, you could argue that our own government basically does that as well, correct?
Not to the extremity of countries like that in the past, like Stalin and Adolf Hitler and others, but I somewhat, yes.
Well, a question. What form of government do we have here in the United States?
Republic? We have a republic, right? It's a democratic republic, but it's not working out well right now.
Well, we don't have a democratic republic. We actually have a constitutional republic.
Constitutional.
All of our rights are given to us through the Constitution.
Okay.
Have you guys read the Constitution from one end to the other?
Oh, no, they don't teach us that in school.
Oh,
we know the
why wouldn't you
amendments.
think they would teach? You're talking about education tonight, but why wouldn't they teach you how your own government works?
I have no idea, sir.
That's a failure of our school system, correct?
Yes, it is.
And do you not agree that you should know? I think most of you guys will probably know the three branches of government. Hopefully,
Yes.
Yes.
You know, half of them do, and surprisingly, you know, half of them don't. There's so many people out there that can't give you the three branches of government and how each individual branch works.
Checks and balances and stuff like that.
We're having too many people argue and complain about the way the government works, but yet, you know, they won't go out and try to make a difference in their own community. And a good example of that is the present issue with the NFL. You have a lot of spoiled, high-paid athletes that will be glad to make a statement on field while they're being paid millions and millions of dollars, but in their off season, you don't hear them going to Chicago or Detroit or these communities that have such a terrible lifestyle where the murder rate is so high.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not necessarily government failing. It's the people that do have the position to make a difference that aren't stepping up. Would you not agree with that?
No, I definitely agree with that.
I think I'd agree with that, yeah.
I definitely agree with that. Well, we thank you for your call. And
again, if you guys can start enlightening your audience more on your cultural views,
okay.
And we haven't even touched on religion or
yeah, we kind of got into it on politics.
I mean, I'm down for whatever we want to do.
We got to go there, but if you would do that, that would probably help us understand your age, generation.
Okay. Well, I don't want to say I represent everyone. I'm just saying it's my own.
Oh, of course not. Yeah.
It's my own.
Well, you know, this is America, and we all have to stand together.
Yeah.
Very true.
No, that is true.
Anyhow, gentlemen, y'all have a good evening.
Yeah,
Thank
you
you
too.
so much. Thank you for calling. You talked a lot on that one. I got to take a break.
Yeah.
Which is fine by me because
I apologize.
I definitely think that you are probably more well versed in like topics like that than I am.
I'm all right.
I mean, I'll be honest. Like I'm not like when it comes to like history and politics aren't really.
Well, just to clear things up, I'm not a fascist or a communist. I'm just would like new ideas in our government, like socialism.
I think wanting new ideas in something is a fair, request in any situation. Do we even want to take a break? We got 5 minutes left.
We're not going to take a break.
I mean, we might as well go on.
Well,
we had our TriCaster crash. We lost our last segment, which we might be able to save from YouTube, but
we'll see.
Things like that happen.
Well,
so
since you want to get cultural,
do we want to go ahead and address that while we have like 5 minutes left?
It doesn't really matter.
If you want to go ahead and finish up, since you just took the spotlight for like the
I
past 15
apologize.
minutes.
If you want to talk, you can talk.
I'm kidding. You go ahead.
Okay. No, go ahead, Dom. You can go ahead.
I don't even remember all the questions.
Okay, well, he was talking about religion, so do you want to tell him
I didn't
your
even
religion?
talk about like my political stance or anything, did I?
No. What's your political stance?
I'm kind of in the same boat with you. I'm kind of independent. I would say I'm pretty much independent. I'm kind of open to I understand like the pros and cons of both sides. I would say I probably lean more liberal than anything, but I'd say that's probably where my stance is on that.
Okay.
Well, now you get to ask me the questions.
Yeah. What is your religion?
Religious-wise, I'm not religious. I'm not. I would say if I had a title for anything, I would say it's probably agnostic because organized religion is definitely not my thing. But like a Jedi, I don't deal in absolutes.
What a nerd.
So I'm not going to say that there's 100% chance that one side is wrong and 100% chance that one side is right. So I'm just going to, I think that the middle ground is logistically the more, that I'm open to the idea that it's anything is a possibility until, it gets proven to me.
Yep.
In an actual logistical way that, shows valid proof. I feel like that's kind of the best way to put it.
I feel the same way. I do. I don't know. My grandmother was religious, kinda. She started to believe in aliens when she got older. I don't know what happened. But I'm not religious at all. I went to church a lot when I was a kid. Didn't like it. Wasn't for me. Went to church recently. Wasn't for me. So I don't even know if I'm agnostic. I might just be atheist. Who knows?
Fun fact, since we're talking about going to church, I was actually in a private Christian school, I think, when I was younger. So, I guess that's, I kind of stem from there, but that's kind of like what point I'm at now. But what's another question? I think you brought up marriage at one point.
Oh, marriage. Anyone can get married as long as you're not marrying an animal. I think that's right.
Or child.
Yeah.
Because you have to be careful because, some people will take that and run with it.
Oh, yeah. No, not everything can get married.
No,
but
course.
man and woman, man and man, woman and woman, man and it, man and they.
And
I don't care.
I see a lot of people argue that they think that that marriage is like this ultimate like religious like bond, but I don't see that at all.
Oh, I don't see marriage and religion don't go hand in hand for me.
I also don't think that marriage necessarily has to revolve around like a religious being a religious
ceremony.
Right. No,
yeah, I don't see that at all. Those don't connect even in my mind.
No. And I'm kind of the same way with him. I don't care, who gets married, whether that be, man, woman, same sex, whatever you want to.
Yeah, who cares? As long as they're they're not going to bother you.
It's not any of my business, nor does it bother me at all. So
yeah.
What else was on our docket for what's
well?
Was that it?
What are you talking about? Social norms for millennials, if you want.
I will say I don't mean to cut you off, but the caller definitely made a huge point that the cultural norms between say his generation and our generation is totally different.
I think we're in a PC era.
We are.
A PC era, political correctness.
And a lot of people will say that that's a good thing, and a lot of people say it's a bad thing. And I would say I actually stand on the middle ground of that statement.
Mm-hmm.
That I think it can be a good thing and a bad thing.
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
So
that was a hearty discussion.
That was a hearty discussion.
We
did a really good job. All right.
That was an excellent call.
Charles didn't call up. He said he was. Y'all better call him up on the buzz when you can and chew him out for me. He was making jokes earlier today while I was doing the buzz in Reedsville, and of course didn't call up.
How dare he?
But we're out of time. You got to know us more.
Yeah,
maybe how much of a degenerates we are.
Maybe next week we should do an episode where we kind of clear the air and just kind of let it all out about ourselves or something.
Do you want that? Email us.
Yeah, email us.
Comment on our posts.
Millennials47@gmail.com. If you want to see something like that so you can get to know us a little bit better, shoot us an email. Let us know that.
Yeah, bang bang.
Star News TV on Facebook. You can also go to their page. We advertise typically on Tuesdays and Thursdays. You can see our posts. And you can comment on there. We read them and check them. Or we have our own Facebook page at Misunderstanding Millennials. You can find it if you search that on Facebook. You can comment on a post there. Any way you want to get it to us, it'll probably get to us.
Yeah, we'll hunt it down like the mayonnaise.
We will hunt it down like the mayonnaise and make sure that we find it and make sure that it is claimed and ready.
So you are...
I'm Jonathan Mills.
I'm Chance Ramsdell. I'm going to go hit that bumper real quick so you don't see us anymore.
That's right. Unfortunately, like we said, we've had some technical difficulties. We didn't have our usual producer tonight, unfortunately, so we're having to do things a little different tonight, kind of like some of the older episodes.
The rats!
But remember to subscribe to us, Misunderstanding Millennials on YouTube, like us on Facebook at Misunderstanding Millennials, and good night, and thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll see you next Thursday at 7 p.m.